Okay, so let's start from I think the documentation, right? So here I have my JavaX package swing, and the class I want to add is JButton right here, implementation of a push button. So when you click on it, you get some more information of how this class works. A ton of information actually, and wow, so much information, and eventually you're going to find some examples as well. So when you sort through that information, which like I said before, I'll be honest, it's pretty difficult. I have a hard time going through it myself. Although if you search the web, there's a lot of other much easier examples on how to implement these things than using the Java website. Anyways, so if you sort through the information, you'll come to this. So you go import JavaX swing J button, okay, like that. It's complaining because we haven't used it yet. So now, in keeping my code organized, create components label, create components text field. I'm going to go create components button. Here we go. Create components. Okay, button. All right. So what I've done here is I've told the program that I want to use a JButton class that's part of the swing class, that's part of the JavaX class. Okay, and here I'm going to create. Guess what? Everything's an object, so I'm going to go JButton. I'm going to just call this B1 equals new JButton. Click me. Alright, so let's read this line. So in this line here, I'm creating an object called B1. B1 is the object name, identifier, or reference. Okay, this object is of the type JButton. So I'm creating a new class from the JButton class. As you can see here, the JButton class is part of the swing class, is part of the JavaX class. Alright, and I'm setting to a default information, default parameter or argument of click me. Okay, so again, if I run it, I don't have to do this, but if I run it, you can see that it doesn't show up. The button doesn't show up anywhere. No big deal, because I haven't added it yet. So I'm going to frame.add b1. All right, there you go. So run, click me. So here's my button. Pretty cool, eh? So now let's read this line here. So in this line here, I'm calling the add method or behavior, as it is the add method or behavior is defined or programmed in the JFrame class, which is part of the swing class, which is part of the JavaX class. Okay, I'm calling the add button. I'm adding it to this frame object, okay, which I created here. You notice that when I click the frame object or reference, okay, highlighted in tan is the location where I declared or made that object exist. Alright, so I'm calling this method behavior, okay, as it is defined in the JFrame class. I'm calling it through the frame object, and I'm telling it to add the button B1, which I instantiated and created here. That's it. Alright, so I go run. Okay, and then if you look at, oops. Okay, I got a couple instances here. So here's the name of my program. Okay. The name of the program, I set the option right here. Okay. The frame size is 200 by 200 pixels. Here. Okay. Set the frame visible to true because I want to see it. There, I can see my program. Okay. Set the layout to L out. Okay. L out is a type flow layout. In other words, just one after the other. Alright, I can easily set this to other layouts like such as grid. There's many different types of layout. Okay, and default set and close operation, exit on close. So if I go exit close, it's going to exit the program. Alright, and these are adding the 4 components. Okay, so there you have it. what we've done here is we've basically added 4 components, I guess, to the frame. Now, I want to conclude by saying that it's actually not very often that we add components directly to the frame. Like I said, it's more likely that we add components to a panel. So we have a frame here, and then we subdivide the frame into many panels. Okay, and like I said, the example here would be this one. So we have a frame here. Okay, so what you see in red, okay, is a panel. Okay, and on top of that panel, what you see in cyan, okay, is 2 other panels. Okay, and then again, and on top of the cyan panel, you see, on top of each cyan panel, you see 2 other panels. So you have a panel on top of a panel on top of a panel inside of a frame. Okay, that's more common of what a real computer program is gonna be like. So in reality, it's really not that often that we add components to the frame. But I didn't use panels in this example because you know, this is just a basic introduction to graphical user interface programming, and we're just adding everything straight to the frame without using panels. Panels, if you're familiar with Photoshop, are kind of like layers for Photoshop. Anyways, so the following few videos was a real brief introduction to the world of you know, graphical user interface programming, and there you have it. Okay, so the next thing to do, I guess, would be to next common things is how do you add a menu bar here, how do you change the layout, and how do you make the buttons do something. Alright, so there you have it. Graphical user interface development.